Hello, my beautiful watchers, I'm the Dom.
And I'm Calluna.
And this is the audio commentary for the second Hobbit crossover we did.
And it starts with Dom singing.
Yep, naked in the shower. Just we actually had to cover up that door there to hide the fact that I'm totally wearing pants in this. So I had to break the illusion. But yeah, so everyone was like, wow, Dom, you sang Hamilton while you're staying in Hamilton. That's so clever. I was like, yes, that was intentional. I was very proud of this scene. And Doug. Okay. You know, say what you like about Doug. He was always very generous with his cameo appearances. Never objected. Just say, hey, Doug, can you be in this thing? He's like, sure. What do you need and when?
That's that take where he was screaming. He had to do it like 5 times, and I kept saying, you can't do it too loud. We are in a hotel. Someone might get mad.
Yeah, but no one did. We did not get thrown out to the hotel because they heard my girly screams. Watch the video. And this last bit was a ad-lib that Doug did, which I like so much. I put it in just at the end there because that scene was supposed to just end with me going, "Watch the video," and that was it. But here she comes, poor old.
Yay.
I have forgotten her name again. What's her name?
Toriel,
because she's worth it. We never did that joke.
Not yet. We still have another.
That's true. Forget I said that. Don't listen to that. I'm going to put that in the next thing. Yeah.
God.
You know, I'm not too keen on spiders myself, but for some reason the ones in this movie didn't really scare me particularly. I think they were just so big and so cartoonish, it didn't set off my arachnophobia.
It also helped that we had a much more impressive spider in the previous movies.
Yeah. So... wearing the pink shirt this time. That's a very important thing to mention.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, the setup for this one wasn't as bad as the other one, because we were in a normal hotel room
this
time, because we were at Cumberbatch.
Oh, but I got really ill during this one, I've just remembered, because most of your audio, well, pretty much all of your audio was recorded in the hotel room. Most of mine I actually recorded when I got back to Britain.
I do remember that, yeah.
I can't remember if this genuinely was tonsillitis or this was the beginning of the acid reflux that plagued me for the next year. Still not over that.
I mean, I got the worst con plague of my life after this.
Did
so
you?
remember that was the time when I got delayed for like 12 hours and had no water, and we got home and the car broke down.
Oh my goodness, yeah, getting out of Canada was so tricky.
Last year's Con Bravo was a pain in the butt.
This year's was fine.
This year's was fine,
traveling-wise.
Yeah, travel-wise.
Everything was good, but...
It helped we were traveling together.
Yeah, there's not Arya Stark.
Yeah.
Not Aragorn.
I remember I had to point out to you that I was like, he looks more like Orlando Bloom than Orlando Bloom.
Once you said it, I could not see it, yeah. Oh, and this bit where it's just like, okay, no, he can't just shoot Smaug. He's got to have, like, Smaug land and say, hey, tiny person who's not really any distinct from any of the other tiny people, I'm going to talk to you and mock you directly for dramatic effect.
I mean, a dragon mocking his enemies, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's also called the Desolation of Smaug, and there's no desolation?
Yeah, well, he desolates things, so I think we just misunderstood the basic concept of what was going to be desolated.
Yes, but when you hear that, you think of his attack on Lake Town. You don't think that one unnecessary chase scene in the cave.
Yeah. That was... Where they ended this movie just drives me absolutely mad, because there's no reason why it shouldn't have ended with them killing Smaug. Because the third movie's bloated enough as it is.
Yeah. Like, where were they supposed to... if this had been in 2... like if they had done 2 movies, the first ending would have been after where was the second ending supposed to be? Because the Smaug and then the Battle of 5 Armies would have been the second half.
Yeah.
So what would have been the fight of with the goblins? I guess
I would have assumed they would still, yeah, because the second and third one was so padded. I'm assuming they still probably would have ended it around the same sort of place and just not dragged everything else out so much.
Yeah.
Maybe they might have done Mirkwood in the first one.
Mirkwood's really quick. So.
Yeah, they did. They dragged that out, and apparently, like a lot of the elf stuff was reshoots that came in later when they decided to add the third movie. So there wasn't going to be the love triangle. They weren't going to lean on Toriel so heavily for anything other than just being a badass.
Yeah, Evangeline Lilly, the actress who plays Toriel, she was told that they weren't going to do a love triangle at first, and then when she found out later, she was actually pretty pissed about it.
Yeah, because she was in a love triangle and lost, and that basically became her whole character. She stopped being a character and just started becoming this prize for those 2 male characters to win. Mm-hmm. Which is a shame. And they basically... I mean, she never really reciprocates with Legolas. She very much bromances him the whole way through.
Oh yeah, this joke. Me swooning over Thranduil.
I liked that joke. Don't go.
It's not too far from the truth, because I really like Lee Pace.
He's a good actor. Yeah.
The eyebrows, apparently he insisted on keeping them that way.
What, the black eyebrows with the blonde...
Well, those are his actual eyebrows, and he begged them to not do anything to them. The only thing they did was
leave my eyebrows alone.
No, he seriously did. If you watch some of the commentary for Hobbit, the only thing they did was they used like a prosthetic to lift them a little.
Oh, but in that perpetual angry look.
Yeah, but they didn't like shave them or anything. Like he kept. That's why they look slightly bizarre, but it kind of works for him. Honestly.
Yeah, you know, I got no objections with him. I said he's nothing like the book version of him. It was just like this happy-go-lucky guy. He was having a fucking party when they turned up, and they were just like, oh shit, these dwarfs have turned up, let's move the party slightly further away and just keep going. Mm-hmm. And eventually they gave up and just captured the dwarfs. And he was just like, what are you naughty dwarfs doing? They're like, nothing! And I'm like, well, I don't believe you, so, yeah. And then it's like, no, he has to be this sort of dark past, brooding motherfucker. And I was like, you know what? I'm into it. I'm sorry.
Because Thranduil, you had nothing to base it on. Whereas, Thorin had a story.
Thorin, yes.
It just was not that.
They had the least excuse for changing Thorin, because he was one of the most fleshed... He was like the only fleshed out dwarf, pretty much. So, how much they changed him was less excusable.
Yeah, they made Keeley a combination of Aragorn and Legolas, because he has the love interest with an elf, and he can also shoot arrows, because that's what dwarves did.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I get maybe they would have some sort of ranged weaponry, it's just a little bizarre.
You know, Legolas's eyes look... I don't know if he just didn't bond with the contact lenses as much in this one, but I've gone back and looked at Lord of the Rings footage, and his eyes look a lot less unnatural in that. I don't know whether they use what they did differently, but they stand out really badly in this one. Where
they're a lot lighter.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on there. I don't know, just because Orlando Bloom had changed, like his skin colour had changed over the years or something, but it looked way less natural than in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and her hair it's like, that's a wig. Like, that looks really terrible.
Yeah.
I feel really bad because I really like Evangeline Lilly as an actress. I just hate this character because she's super unnecessary.
And this fucking, the D&D thing occurred to me even when I was watching the movie. I was just like, a humble captain of the guard. Oh, that's so fucking derivative. That is like as minimal effort you could put into it. So the only thing more like derivative than that they could have put in would be like she's a blacksmith. She could have basically been Orlando Bloom's character from Kingdom of Heaven. I
mean, I get that they wanted to add more women, but the only plot they give her is the love angle.
Yeah, I know. That's yeah. If you're gonna add women, just don't make them the subject of a fucking love triangle. That's so not the way to go about it.
Yeah, like, I would have appreciated if her relationship with Keeley was more friendship rather than romantic.
Yeah, an elf and a dwarf. I mean, but then the problem is they already did Legolas forming a friendship with Gimli, so...
Yeah, but I think it could have been... I think it might have been an interesting parallel, because then maybe that's why he's so racist against dwarves when he meets them. When he meets Gimli.
Right.
Like, have that be like, you're the... like, a dwarf was the reason a good friend of mine ended up dying. Or something. I don't know. Like,
yeah.
I think there's enough there they could have played with and kept the romance angle out of it.
It is odd that they didn't kill off Toriel, because that would have made for a better climax, and B, we still now have to wonder where the fuck she was during Lord of the Rings. It's like, okay, we had this great... Legolas's best friend and possible love interest at some point. She probably doesn't have much else to do.
We never see Mirkwood in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Legolas is the only one from Mirkwood.
Didn't he bring some elves with him?
He brought like one or two to the council, but they're not. But they don't go with him.
I really can't remember the end of the third. Does she leave Mirkwood as well? Because I know Legolas goes wandering, goes off to meet Strider.
I don't remember what happens to Toriel. I kind of thought she died for a minute, but I don't remember.
No, she's
still alive. She's just gonna die.
I think her last scene was the "Why does it hurt so much" scene.
That scene is so fucking bad. We'll get into that in the next one.
Oh yeah. Oh man, getting Lewis in this was surprisingly difficult because he was actually at Con Brava with us. So the idea was we were just going to drag him up to our room for like this 1 minute and get him to say that line. And then the first day he was dressed in his Team Skull outfit because we all did Team Skull, and then we went off and changed. But because he was at his table the whole day, he didn't have time to change. So it was like, it's gonna be we're gonna have to explain why he's dressed as someone from Pokemon. Okay, so we'll do it the next day. The next day he was mad busy. He had like 6 things to do that day, including running his table.
Yeah. And
on the third day, he had to leave early to get to his flight because he always lets the con book his flights, and they always book him in for like leave halfway through Sunday. So it was like, shit, so we had him with us this whole time. We just couldn't find 5 minutes to get him up to our hotel room to film that thing, so we ended up having to get him to send his stuff in from his home.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out because because it's still noticeable because it's his normal set.
I think it would have been funny if he'd just suddenly been sitting in between us, but it just didn't work out that way. Like I said, whenever Lewis goes to a con, because he's got shit to sell, and he's always doing like 6 or 7 panels, he's really hard to hang on to for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So we usually go and hang out with him at his booth, so it usually surprises people. They just sort of look left and right. They're like, oh shit, you guys are here too.
The scene with Smaug, I didn't have too much issue with the part that was actually to the book, where he's like sneaking around and trying to be invisible and shit.
They cut down it because they just, I don't know, because it defied the entire point of the books that the dwarfs instantly followed Bilbo in. Because, I mean, yes, they're meant to be braver now, so it doesn't make any sense that they were happy enough letting Bilbo do all the heavy lifting. But it's like the entire point of bringing him was to be the scout. And if they immediately follow him the second they hear dragons moving around, I was like, what was the point of any of this?
Oh yeah, this shot.
Think it's safe to come out yet? Let's give it a few days.
I'm still not sure what accent I was going for then. I was trying to sort of do slightly northern like Thorin was doing. You knew nothing, Jon Snow.
The reason they came in is because they needed to have that action sequence.
Yeah,
that's the real reason they went in.
So yeah, it's like the action sequence. I mean, the bit where he surfs on gold was the worst part, because like the transference of heat alone should have melted his hands off.
Okay, I did not hate the scene with Galadriel, Saruman, and Gandalf. It's stupid, but I appreciate how stupid it is.
It's flat out fan service. We're just repeating what we said in the episode, but it is. Everyone's just like, we never really got to see Elrond or Galadriel do anything. I mean, you saw Saruman and Gandalf beat the shit out of each other old man style. They're just going, bonk, bonk. But they never really saw the Council of Elrond, or the White Council, just going all out. So this was just like, okay, we're going to throw you a fucking bone here.
I think it's also nice to see that, like, they don't show that Saruman's evil at this point in time.
Yeah.
He seems to be legitimately a good dude.
He was as the head of the wizards, he was meant to be like a really strict guy, but he genuinely was like, fuck Sauron, I'm going to go a mono with him, save the rest of the world, and then I'm going to use this crystal thing to look into his mind and find out all his tricks and then kick the shit out of him. And then, because...
And then the next time Gandalf sees him, like, so how'd that go?
Yeah, how that goes, like, well, I was thinking, funny you should bring it up.
I mean, it's been a couple decades since we've last seen each other.
Yeah, so this was not an instant thing where it's like, I'm evil now, la-di-la-di-la.
I assumed Saruman took care of it, but now I found the invisible ring. Oh, crap.
Crap, Saruman! Like, what? I'm not doing anything.
Did you do the thing you said you did?
Well,
yes.
I was thinking, hear me out. Instead of fighting him,
let's team up.
Let's form an awesome team. We'll be fine. It's fine. It's fine. Damn it! I'm quoting Lindsay again.
I love the unnecessary thorns on all these things. Like, yeah, this is gonna be real menacing. Let's put thorns.
Nothing scarier than big thorns
on the outside of the cage too, not just the inside. Like that would make sense.
I think orcs just need to get a gardener. I think that's basically their downfall. As a sword buff, as a sword enthusiast, I don't actually know a lot of the specifics. It really bothered me that they were always just carrying them around and using them as like walking sticks and letting them get rained on. It's like, I know elven swords are probably made out of like this anti-rust iron, but you can't get your swords wet. You need to keep them wrapped up in oilcloth or something if it starts raining, because otherwise they're going to be so fucked within like a couple of days. Everyone was just really abused their swords in this.
Oh, that's our friend Iannone?
Yeah, he quit making videos just before this, so he didn't want to be credited or anything, but he was just sort of in our room at the time, so he was like, hey, you want to be in a video? So... And the cocaine around her nose is the flour icing from like a cinnamon bun that we went out and got specially, and then we just had a bunch of cinnamon buns left over, and we served them to people during the new season of Rick and Morty was coming out, so we had like Nash and a bunch of other people come up to our room, and we just served all the food we've been using as props. Just in case these guys are watching this, we didn't like get our hands all over them. They were still clean food.
Yeah.
It's just we borrowed a bit of the flour off the top of it to make it look like she was a cocaine addict.
This scene took so long to shoot because it was the one paragraph you gave me, and I could not remember it.
For some reason, I kept saying you wanted to say hot lava instead of surfing on lava or something. You completely wrecked this shirt, by the way. This shirt had like a V-neck after this.
I'm sorry.
It's alright. I just bought another one.
Yeah, the angle on this one's a little funky.
Yeah. Again, because I have no fucking idea how to shoot anything that's not green screen anymore, because I've become like such a specialist at this point. So if YouTube ever falls and I have to go get a job in the film industry, I'm going to have no transferable skills. But yeah, again, I keep thinking like Pirates of the Caribbean when I see this shit, because it's like they've got like basically a ride down a river.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm amazed that they haven't made a theme park attraction that's basically just that bit. They stick you in a barrel, and you ride out, you see orcs and like dwarf animatronics fighting on either side of you.
Oh, I need a plug to
Oh, you alright?
Sorry.
She's dying.
Those hats look so dumb, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say before I started choking. Waste of an actor.
Oh, so much.
Such a waste
These guys
of an
were
actor.
so cartoonish. I am so into Stephen Fry. He's like he's a national
Like,
treasure.
there are
but...
8 other characters who Stephen Fry could have been in these movies
And
that would have
yeah.
been so much better.
And again, this is such an adaptation fail, because the Master of Lake Town was just like, he's not a great dude, but he's just a guy, you know? They didn't have to make him fucking Maleficent.
Nope. And, Grima Wormtongue 2.0.
Yeah, that's so lame. And everything just had to be sticky and wet and everything. I was like, God, it's like suddenly the movie Sweeney Todd for a bit, you know?
Yeah. God, those hats, they look dumb, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And it's like, I thought they were building it, because James Nesbitt, the guy was the one dwarf that almost had some character, because he was talking to Frodo a lot.
Yes.
His character development just becomes, he misses the boat. And that's like his scene in this movie. That's all he gets. Ta-da! He got drunk and he missed the boat. And it split the party and also ruined the has to be not 13 of us thing.
Balin is the other one they do try to give some story beats to, because he's the one, like...
He's the king of exposition. That's basically all he got.
And for some reason they made, like, him, like, the oldest dwarf, which makes no sense in the grand scheme of things. Also, the guy playing the grandfather dwarf guy, that looks so bad. Like, that effect on him looks terrible.
Fucking Gaston here having his flashback moment.
This is dumb.
This was, because, again, I was all for giving Bard some sort of backstory, because he gets nothing in the book, but to make him this generic, like, at best he's a rip-off of Aragorn, at worst, again, he's a D&D character for someone who has no idea how to write stories.
Pretty much, yeah. So yeah, I missed the fact that they didn't have actual gold and shit beyond his tummy, because like,
Yeah,
that would have been neat.
it was called like his diamond waistcoat or something, I think, in the book. But again, I referenced Beowulf here, and I missed a trick here, because you are like a fucking font of knowledge when it comes to Beowulf, and I didn't at any point ask you for help on that, because I didn't know that you knew so much about that book.
I studied it a lot in school because I was an English major and I did a bunch of papers on them, and a lot of The Hobbit draws from Beowulf because that was Tolkien's like favorite thing. So the dragon having like a one soft spot, that's from Beowulf.
Also,
That's what they were taking it from, was not actually The Hobbit, but the thing The Hobbit was based on.
Yeah, because as much as Tolkien disliked allegory, he was fine with borrowing stuff from existing things.
It's the oldest epic poem from like English literature. Like, unfortunately, the library burned down, so we lost a lot of it.
Sorry about that. Yes.
Who was burned down? Henry VIII?
Something like
One of
that.
the
I'm pretty sure it was actually the Canadians who did it. Because they were part of the British Empire. Anyway, forget the history lesson.
But yes, if you've not read Beowulf before,
there's a lot of
parallels.
A lot of dragon lore that people believe is just myths is actually just what was said in Beowulf.
Yeah, like
man. Thorin's fall to the dark side came out of nowhere, because he gets to the mountain absolutely fine. 5 minutes after being to the mountain, he's like, you know what, I guess I'm evil now.
they blame it on like the magical stone of changing, and it's like, oh hey, it's the ring again.
Yeah.
It's just a stone.
Did we acknowledge that, or did it, on this one, or are we waiting for the next one? I have to rewatch it and double check.
I legitimately don't remember.
Yeah, shit, we can't remember shit from this episode.
Also,
those eyebrows, look at them.
it's funny because
Magnificent.
somebody, the way they decided how to do Thranduil's outfit is they found like a GQ image of a dude in like this orange, and like the way he poses on the throne is exactly how it looks on the image. If you
Really?
watch a lot of the behind the scenes, like I love the behind the scenes for The Hobbit because a lot of it's really fascinating. I don't give a crap about the majority of the films, but a lot of like the stuff that they put into like the design is really pretty.
So it's like, for me, it's like Pirates of the Caribbean 2, because I absolutely loathe that film, but absolutely adored the behind-the-scenes footage, because it's a fucking horror movie. I can keep me...
This
Oh, there it is.
It's the best scene. Best
Yeah.
scene in the whole film.
Yeah, which we straight up ignored, because this is genuinely our reaction to that scene. It was just like, I just want to hear that story now. I want to hear about Thranduil versus the dragons. Why the fuck is that not a movie yet?
I love that it's like a glamour. Like, there's so much backstory to that 30 seconds of screen time.
Yeah, and it just... Holy shit, that's how you write, like, how you intrigue people. Then they could do nothing else with it, obviously, but...
Nope!
Again,
Even in the extended editions.
I'd like to see them explore something in regards to this. Yeah. This joke right here is all her. She 100% insisted we put this in, and I was not... I was, like, not 100% until I actually saw it. I was like, okay, that's legit
It's so
hilarious.
good! I love Thorin.
But it's like such a dated meme now.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely, but it still works.
It was a dead meme before you even did it. But fuck
absolutely.
It.
We should have had a section called "Because Pirates of the Caribbean Did It."
Kinda. I also, again, they set up so hard in this that only a wind lance can kill a dragon. And then they just, in the third one, the wind lance gets smashed in like the first 30 seconds. They just rigs up a bow and arrow from his son. It's like, what?
Yeah, the parallels are pretty similar.
Yeah. There was going to be another joke in this where I just say, looks great in leather, and you're like, well, you're pushing it a bit there. I was like, I don't care, it counts! But it didn't quite work in the episode, so I just left it at, like, the actual points. But yeah, no, he's such a ripper. Again, it was a real I got really distracted looking for those scenes because I ended up just watching Lord of the Rings clips, and it just really drove home for me how much better those movies were.
It's also amazing how similar him and Thorin look, so if they're in scenes together, I legitimately get confused for a minute.
Yeah.
Because they look so friggin' similar, and the only way you can know the difference is, like, one has his hair tied back slightly differently.
Yeah, I mean, no shade on the actor. He did his best of what he was given, because he doesn't have any control over the makeup or the wigs or the styling or anything.
It's just basic, like, visual storytelling. Make your characters distinct, especially if you're going to have Bard play such an integral role in this movie.
Stick Aragorn, Bard, and Thorin in a room and just, like, blur it slightly and tell me you can pick them out from a lineup.
And Orlando Bloom in Pirates.
Yeah, Orlando Bloom and fucking... Oh, yeah. Just stick... all these carbon copy characters, you wouldn't be able to pick them out from a lineup, I swear to Jeebus.
Yes. I remember this line took me so many takes, and I don't know why.
It's sometimes you just get a line that trips you up, and the more it trips you up, the harder it is actually to say, because you get used to saying it the wrong way.
I'm used to being able to do it in like 2 takes and done, but that one in particular I remember having a lot of hard time with.
So, why does Bjorn try and kill... I can't remember, it's just because he's supposed to be in like beast mode when he's a bear, he can't control himself. Is that the excuse they gave?
I think so. Honestly, it's been a really long time since I've read The Hobbit. I forgot this character existed.
Yeah. They had some cool stuff, because the dwarves work on their own so much that you kind of lose the sense of size. So you get shots like this when it's a reminder. It's like, oh yeah, I miss scenes like this where you get establishing shots.
The problem is it looks really terrible.
I know, but at least it's trying.
Because if they don't have, like, Gandalf in the scene, then they don't need to do anything.
You know what's really weird? When I was watching this movie, I was trying to think, because Bilbo kind of wakes up and see Bjorn come back in, and then I was thinking, if that was me, I would feel so awkward, because, like, do I acknowledge that... Oops, my alarm's going off.
Oh, no!
Sorry, got a call. Do you acknowledge that the owner of the house that you're sleeping in has come back in, or do you just keep on pretending to be asleep? I was just trying to imagine me in the situation, just like, shit, I'm just gonna pretend to be asleep, fuck. So yeah, that's how awkward I am. Even on a quest, I'd be socially awkward, I reckon.
It's interesting they changed the effects slightly for when Bilbo's wearing the ring, but I guess you could chalk that up to Sauron's eyes, like, not present or something to that effect. I don't know. I don't know exactly what they were doing. It's interesting how many callbacks they make, and yet how many times they change it.
Yeah, I don't know, because they clearly were not looking to add their own style to things, but... They just... maybe it was just they had better technology and they thought they could improve on it slightly. You know, I absolutely hate the left out altogether scene because it takes longer than the rest of the episode combined to troll through the internet looking for non-copyrighted footage or things that A, it's not immoral for me to use, but is relevant enough to the episode. And it usually just looks crap. I used to just borrow from other movies, and then the more I did that, the more I hated it. So these days I just kind of show something kind of related from the movie and just try and explain it verbally. But,
they would be dead.
Yeah. No, that was like the 7th time in that movie alone they would have been dead.
Dead.
That scene in particular, just like surfing down mountains bothers me. And then in this one, I think near the end, where Smaug smashes the stone stairs that Bilbo's standing on, and then he just sort of jumps off and rolls. And I was like, no, come on, you've just absolutely destroyed any sort of tension in this scene, showing that even literally the building you're standing on falling does nothing to you.
Yeah.
Or apparently, Dragonfire does. If you're not directly hit by Dragonfire, as long as you're just around behind a post or something, you're fine.
Yeah.
This fire that's hotter than anything else in the universe. Sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah, it doesn't hurt unless you're directly hit by it. You're fine.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I love the idea of Thunderbolt just getting a bit pished.
I mean, because Elfwine's fucking strong.
Yeah, and the drunk jailer and everything. It's a shame he didn't get much of a like, it's literally, you see the dwarfs, so the elves getting drunk, but they don't even get a line in the movie.
Like, that... I think it would have been much more interesting if they had kept Smaug in the gold for longer, because they only have him in it for a little bit, and it looks super menacing if you don't quite know what he looks like.
This is like my favourite scene out of all three movies, pretty much, just because it's
It's the closest.
Martin Freeman really nails like the non-verbal acting. And Benedict Cumberbatch, I know a lot of people don't like him, but I actually really like him and his performance in this movie.
I thought he was fine.
Yeah. So and also him and Freeman and Cumberbatch have good chemistry because they've worked together so much. So.
Not that they were working together in this particular scene.
I've also the behind the scenes of Benedict Cumberbatch being Smaug is amazing because he goes for it. He is crawling along the floor and like doing all the breath noises and he's using his arms like they're his wings, and it is just absolutely amazing.
He took a lot of points from Andy Serkis.
Yeah. So where are we up to in the commentary? When the Lord of the Rings did it.
Lord of the Rings did it.
Lord of the Rings. Oh, no, dead dwarfs. Surprisingly undecomposed for 60 years or so.
Hey guys, we also did this in Moria, except they were skeletons.
And it was more interesting and more dramatic. This will, again, the scene where they do get the sort of oppressive atmosphere of Mirkwood, right? So this is just the problem is the things that they get right could be counted on one hand, and the rest of it is just padding or Lord of the Rings.
Padding. God, that scene's so good! Can we just have that? Just that. That and
Let's just make a Thunderwell movie.
Actually, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I would really like that. Because they don't really... Oh,
right.
This looks like a Disney ride! Like, they make it so that way he's, like, super fast, and he's actually, like, the best fighter, but he's fat, so haha.
Haha, the joke is he's fat. Although, admittedly, that was kind of his character trait in the book, but still.
I mean, it's in a book that has 13 dwarves.
You don't see that she shanks him, it looks like she just sort of gently pushes him off the balcony.
Hi!
Oh, no, see, look at this right here. How many, all he has to do is wiggle his chin.
Ooh.
And again, look, me filming without a green screen is just absolute garbage. Look how badly he's keyed in here.
It's fine.
Oh my goodness, this is the bit where we're being an Arcada.
Oh.
We didn't tell him what his role would be. We just said, hey, you mind doing a cameo?
Tell me, I had to tell him.
So he gets into the room, I was like, okay, so you're going to be running off with Calluna's sort of boyfriend, and he just sort of gave this look and then tried to walk out. I was like, no, you agreed to it now. And this was the first time I sort of acknowledged that Terence was like aggressively pansexual.
Aggressively pansexual?
Yeah, he is into everything. Terence. I'm working on a Terence thing now, you guys. Hopefully we'll like it.
This is the other one that people really like to make gifs of.
They make such a pretty couple.
That's my favorite.
Like, every take we did, I burst out laughing. I couldn't help myself.
If that was actually in the text or not, or if I made that up.
I think it wasn't in my original script. You said at the last minute, you said, "Do you know what'd be funny? What have you said?" I like last minute, you said, I ship it.
I ship it.
Because everyone kept talking about shipping us and stuff. I was like, you know what? Let's work that into the joke.
Arcada was a good sport about it.
He
We're like,
was.
you also have to wear this wig. It's like, God damn it, guys.
Yeah, and we drew the line. We were gonna like tie the wig back and give him Elfiz too. We're like, you know what? I think we've tortured the poor bastard enough.
They do show scenes where he's not wearing the crown, so we're like, it's fine. Close enough.
It's all good. It's all good. No, he is like one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and he's really up for anything really.
He's a really good dude.
Yeah. I wish we could hang out with him more, but he's up in Canada. This was driving me mad in the film. Just was like turn.
Half of the movies is just
just people slowly turning around. Like even fucking Smaug does it. I was like, guys, come on.
This was really good. I appreciate the dramatic turns. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, well, thanks for listening to us ramble about anything except the episode again. And yeah, so we will be doing the next one hopefully very soon.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot easier now that we actually live together.
Yeah, now that we don't have to manage around a convention hotel.
Don't have to squeeze the whole thing into a quick trip to Canada or Washington.
Yes.
Alright, peace and love, y'all.
Bye, guys.